losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early into the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
Then the pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017. Mm-hmm. He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earned runs in May. And, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4 with a 4.34 ERA. And, in May, he has 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. So they're not pitching well. And on top of that, they're also not batting well.
Right. But it kind of sucks because Manuel Margot is doing pretty good. His the past few at bats, his last.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's radio loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story, adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of...
Check out this flashback from the Artist Exchange radio show.
That's the biggest thing, is just empowerment. Just get off of the begging line. Just be proud and just get our pride and our dignity back, because as a child, we're taught how to go and beg for a job. Our parents, they literally taught us how to make sure you pull your pants up. Me, I'm 6'7", so I'm a bigger man. I was always taught how to not be threatening or intimidate people when I go into different interviews or different scenarios. And so we're literally taught how to condition ourselves, condition our speech, everything, in order to go and beg these people for a job, because we know when we walk in the door, I have to tear down 10 stereotypes before I get past hello. So we need to eliminate that. And we need to eliminate that, and the way that we do that is employing ourselves and employing our brothers and sisters. And so that's our mission, is group economics, uplift ourselves, because I can't empower anyone until I empower myself, and change from just being willing, because it's in my heart and my passion to see my people succeed and see us do better and change the social order, because I know that we are not supposed to be on bottom. I understand who I was. I know I didn't fall out of the sky and land on a plantation. So when you have knowledge of self and you know who you are and what you come from, it's frustrating more than anything to see us in this position.
Tune into the Artist Exchange every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. live on BeExposedRadio.com.
Whoa.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bath water to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirect.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
I got off and then got on a different one.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's 7. What time is it? It's 7:08. Bit of a late start, but you already know what it is. Just a bit outside. Your Monday night sports extravaganza.
Extravaganza.
Yeah. I came with the grade 6 vocabulary today. Usually we're at grade 5.
Are you smarter than a 5th grader?
As always, I'm your host, Kescia, and to my right, and a permanent fixture here just a bit outside of Be Exposed Radio, my man, Mark Foster. What's going on, bro?
What it do?
Yeah, we just in here. I'm fresh off a happy hour, so this should be an interesting show. Shout out to La Scala. Let's see here. All right. How was your weekend, dog?
My weekend was chill. It was relaxed.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what.
Fantastic.
It's not about this past weekend. It's about this weekend coming up.
Woo!
Because we're always just a bit outside and we're in the realm of comics.
Yes.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Oh.
And I've heard great reviews about that.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Friend of the show over there in Indianapolis, Jay Henry.
Yes. What's up, Jay?
He was able to see it Saturday. Because
really?
they did a special preview event.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I would have dug seeing it, but I know I'm going to go see it this Saturday.
Yeah.
Can't wait. And I think Once Upon a Deadpool opens too.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like the next couple of months, all the way to summer, it's just going to be like overload. There's so much to look forward to. And always with the movies, though, Christmas is like one of the big times of year. I feel like Christmas and Memorial Day weekend is really try to hit you with the good stuff.
And Christmas is more like a blockbuster time now than it ever was before.
Yeah.
Avengers 4 trailer.
Oh my goodness! I didn't know what to do. Seriously, when I watched the trailer, I told you, you tagged me to it, and I said, okay, I'm gonna have to go watch this in the privacy of my bathroom stall or something like that, because I know that I was gonna be too emotional to sit at my desk with a straight face and watch this joint. And honestly, legit, when I went to the bathroom to watch that, I'm so glad there was no one in there with me, because they would have had no idea what the hell I was doing.
Because you had the headphones in, right?
Yeah, the headphones in. I'm like, oh my God, just all the emotions, yo, all the emotions. Ant-Man, though.
Yeah, Ant-Man. Yeah, absolutely.
He about to come through, I feel like,
And Marvel's hitting it, because last Monday they dropped the Captain Marvel second trailer.
Yes.
It was supposed to hit Saturday, but it's going to hit sometime this week.
Right.
The very first Spider-Man Far From Home teaser also. Yep.
And we can't forget, Aquaman is going strong as well.
And that's getting good reviews for DC movies.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally DC hits like right below Marvel, but I hope they stepped their game up with Aquaman, Max. You could do a lot with that. You could do a lot with that, and we all love Jason Momoa. So
I still gotta check out Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I haven't either. And you know, one of my favorite like acoustic, I don't know what you would really categorize them as, but Mumford and Sons.
Yep.
I love them, man. I saw them perform in 2016 up at Firefly Music Festival.
Really?
Oh yeah. They did like an hour set. They were one of the headliners for the show, and they were just fantastic. And they were fresh off of a tour in South Africa, so they had picked and they had, you know, studied drum circles and had did like, you know, a little I guess, you know, for lack of a better word, like internship with a few South African musicians. They brought them back to the States with them. Damn. You know, brought them on stage. They did a couple of songs together, man. I mean, this group is really amazing. So you know, I had the joint on my demand, so you know, I'm making sure to check that joint out this week, man. I was really I really wanted to see that episode of SNL.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so it's been kind of a bit of a wild weekend for everybody. I feel like we're gonna take a few minutes to go just a bit outside the realm of sports. You know, y'all know Cardi B is my girl. You know, so anybody that knows me knows that I love me some Cardi. Alright? So apparently this weekend she announces plans for a divorce from the rapper Offset, and apparently, you know, the word is he couldn't keep his Migos in his pants, and so there's a divorce. So we're all, I mean, our hearts are collectively breaking for Cardi and Offset, Little Baby culture, man. After a year and a half of marriage, they're calling it quits, yo.
Marriage is tough.
Marriage is tough. Kevin Hart, he's having a bit of a rough time. That Bama just can't seem to stay away from the drag, yo. I mean, like, we just, and I mean drag in a bad way.
Pun intended?
Yeah. You know, we just talked about Kevin and the problems that he had on Thanksgiving by throwing the Cowboys and Indians birthday party. Lo and behold, 2 weeks later, he's back in the headlines. And, you know, there's some old posts that had resurfaced. And he was he was set to be the Academy Award MC for the night or something, right? That's the Oscars, right? Academy Award?
Yep.
Right, so, you know, he made some, I guess, off-color remarks on Twitter, and those resurfaced, and, I mean, ultimately what it led to was Kevin Hart stepping down and saying, look, guys, I don't even have to host this bullshit, for real, because I think he apologized for the post from the past, but they wanted him to apologize again.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I'm not doing that shit. So, you know, whatever, y'all win, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was really a culmination of, you know, what happened with the birthday party and this. I mean, yo, people get tired of this bullshit. Yeah. For real.
And like you said, he's already addressed it. That's what he put in like his tweet announcing he'd step down too.
Right.
Like, I've already been through this. I already addressed these things. There's no reason to do it again. And I'm with him. Like, there's no reason to apologize again.
Right.
If you're upset, maybe research some more and find out that he already has addressed these things.
And also, just to bring it a little bit closer to home, and this is a Jim Rockwell exclusive, we're going to drop really quickly, you know, the Baltimore Ravens' current offensive lineman, Patrick Ricard, he has made some racist and homophobic tweets in the past, I believe 7 years ago. And these things have resurfaced and come to light. This news dropped about probably less than 24 hours ago. And it's just, social media has become such a fucking thing. I mean, it's like the gift and the curse. For real. And honestly, like if you're someone who is a celebrity or a sports figure, politician, public figure, or whatever, you have just got to be really careful. You know, and it's been some unfortunate events with, you know, and I also sympathize with Patrick Ricard because I'm pretty sure he's not the same man that he was 7 years ago.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? He's 24 years old right now, people. I mean, you guys have pulled, you know, racist tweets or homophobic tweets from when he was 17 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a little bit rough. And now, because of this, his future with the Ravens hangs in the air.
And even in like today's enlightened environment and stuff, high school is still one of those ultra testosterone high school football areas that no matter how you feel, like you're going to go with the flow because you want to be part of the crowd.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you know, just to kind of to continue, kind of drive my point home as to how ridiculous, you know, it's come with this. I don't even know what do you call it, like Twitter digging, like research, like you know how ridiculous it's become. You know, I was talking to my brother James about this whole entire thing, about how things can come back to bite you in the ass, and just for shits and giggles, you know, I went back a couple of years on my own timeline. Yeah, and I came up with a few posts of my own that I'd like to read. But we are going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm gonna read some of my tweets, and you know, hopefully I won't get judged for mine. I mean, they're not racist or anything like that, but I just want to show the point about how ridiculous this whole thing can be.
Will you be back next week?
Right. I hope Monty's not watching. Okay, you guys, so don't go anywhere. When we come back, just a bit outside.
Exposed Radio.
Well, if you made them, take care of them.
Yeah, that's the real. Right. That's the real deal.
It's period.
Right. And all that old money shouldn't go toward this. Money should go to if the child is with one of the parents 24/7, 7 days a week. You don't even come get your child every day. You come get your child once a month maybe, or once every 3 months.
Right.
You cannot dictate where that money goes, especially if the child ain't calling you about nothing. Now, if the child calling you every week, then you can question about where the child support is going. But if every time you pick up the child, they look nice, they ain't complaining about nothing, why are you worrying about where the money go at?
It is what it is.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artists, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature. And I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So
you are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Okay. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. Just a bit outside. When we left off, we were talking about how tweeting and posting can be dangerous and hazardous to your lifestyle, I guess. We were talking about the tweets that have resurfaced by Kevin Hart and Ravens offensive lineman Patrick Ricard. So I thought it was just funny just to kind of go back on my own timeline and look at my posts and I don't tweet. I'm not a Twitter. I'm not a Twitter pet. I haven't gone that far yet, but I do post on Facebook quite often. I guess because I'm old school.
Yeah, Facebook is like the old
the old people
site.
shit,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So and I'm an old head. I'm knocking on 40 stores, so
But you are on Instagram.
Yeah, I am. I got the IG popping too, and that's at Major Keish, MAJORKESC. Holla at me. But I saw a couple of posts from my past, and I'm gonna read these joints. And I only went back 3 years because I'm so fucking nuts. I didn't have to go back too far. So I'm gonna read some of these. So, and look, do not judge me, okay? Do not judge me. Okay, so the first post I got was from December 2015, and it says, "Sometimes you have to run through the 6 by yourself. Now, I don't know what the 6 is. I'm just going to shout out Drake. Probably I was listening to some damn Drake song. Some Drake song or something like that. And I guess I just wanted to be down that day. But, I mean, hey, there you have it. Second post. This one came from March 2018. I knew it was Sanaa Lathan that bit the Beyonce. When's the next party? November 2017. I'm thankful for my edges, my hairline, my forehead. I told you, man, this shit gets good. All right, which one is this? June 2017. Anyone else think that Adam Silver looks like a gigantic alien? Hashtag NBA Awards.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah! And the last but not least, my very favorite from May of 2016, Thundercats. Ho! So there you have it. Like, not racist and not mean, but I mean, it's just like, yo, you post off the wall shit all the time on Facebook. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't think, I'm pretty sure the people that just heard this list and do not know me probably think I'm the biggest cornball there ever was, or geek. Yeah, and probably some of the people that do know me. But you know, it's just, you can't be judging people by their posts, man. I just think it's just getting a little too far, especially if it's like more than, I don't know, 3-4 years ago.
And not to mention, like, you know, not to say generations are different, because I mean, obviously they are. Generation X is kind of known for biting sarcasm.
Yeah.
How many times did you post, and I know I have,
yeah,
something completely off the wall, not, you know, necessarily something I really believe in, but it's very tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
And who knows, someone might, 10 years down the line, might be like, oh yeah, look what he said.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Some of the language I'll use sometimes, I guess, could be looked at as offensive. I don't know. I'll just cross that bridge when it happens 5-6 years from now, with and I'll be ready with a big bird, ready to pull that big bird out my pocket. You
Got
know?
the 2020 presidential run that you're gonna make?
I think we all know that's out the window. Let's moving on, you guys. We got a Monday Night Football game tonight. Who is playing? Shit.
Oh, you asking me?
Yeah.
I had it right here.
God.
Vikings at Seahawks.
Is it the Vikings at the Seahawks?
Vikings at Seahawks.
Oh man, I think this is actually going to be a really good game.
What do you mean actually? We talk about it every Monday night. I mean, this one doesn't look like a crap game. Thankfully.
Right, but a lot of them be looking like some shit.
But all the games. They've
been good. Exciting. Yes, they have been good.
And this one, Seahawks are favored by 3, which is kind of surprising because they're at home.
Yeah, the last I saw it was like 3.5 or something like that.
And
oh boy,
like the over/under is 45.5.
Are you serious? I think it's going to be lower than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's going to be more.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're going to see about that. Oh God, I think I messed this up. It's great.
Sorry, Andre.
Sorry. Yeah, so we got Russell Wilson and the gang against is it Cousins?
Kirk Cousins.
Is he still alive? Is he not injured? Kirk Cousins in the Vikings?
He's made, well, don't jinx him, because he has made it 3/4 of the season.
Right.
Without an injury.
He likes to get injured.
That might be a record for him.
That guy likes to get his ass broken. But yeah, so I mean, what are you expecting from this game?
You know, the Vikings have been up and down all year.
Yeah. I was expecting more from them, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And the Seahawks, they started the year all crappy, but like the last month, they've been looking good.
Oh yeah, Seahawks have definitely turned the corner. Okay, so this is my 1 minute. Okay, I agree. This is my thing, and we'll talk a little bit more about this with our next guest, our special guest. I think the thing for the Vikings is going to be the quarterback play of Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
You know, like when he performs well, they do well. When he doesn't perform well, he starts throwing interceptions and all that shit. Like the whole team looks like a whole nother team. But what specifically are you looking to see from the Seahawks and Russell Wilson? Run game?
Yeah, I mean, Russell Wilson's kind of looking like the Russell Wilson of old. So
and we like that.
We got to see how he does. I think the big thing for the Seahawks is a defense because, I mean, Pete Carroll's done a great job rebuilding that defense.
Yes. Yes, and they are in Seattle, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we already know that's a tough place to play, and that 12th man is a beast. But you guys, hold the phone when you don't go anywhere. When we come back, we will have Coach DeLane Fitzgerald, head coach of Frostburg State University Bobcats. Once again, they are on a roll this season, man. So we're about to chop it up with him. You guys don't go anywhere. Just a bit outside.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
You are now listening to Just a Bit Outside, a sports radio show at BeExposedRadio.com. Come join us every Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, or at BeExposedRadio.com.
So we had a lot of things going on.
Mother's Day, Major League Baseball, pink bats, pink outfits.
Yeah. They certainly did the mothers good. They don't show them justice. Like Jimmy said, the pink bats, cleats, all types of pink highlights in the major leagues. The Orioles were swept by the Kansas City Royals.
Wah, wah.
The Kansas City Royals. Thank you, Eric. Kansas City Royals is they are like one of the worst teams in the Major League Baseball right now. Yeah, so that was a little tough.
Yeah, so the Orioles no longer have the top record. It belongs to the Washington Nationals now.
Yeah, so that was tough. So hopefully they'll get back on track with the next series. Maryland, we got some local sports, collegiate to report. The Maryland lacrosse. Let's shout out the Maryland lacrosse team. They are in the NCAA tournament, and Hey,
this is Mark, just a bit outside on BeExposedRadio.com. Listen to us every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty.
Here's how it works.
Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then, you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right?
Radio Loyalty.
Click that banner to join now.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy, busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular, it's getting that person money, it's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause. I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like, I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, and I was thinking, like,
The Artist Exchange Radio.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusi. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra. I have been in this country 32 years, and this is how I live united. America has always been the land of promise, and in my community, many families have come for a better life. Coming from another culture myself, I know the desire to become part of a community, to feel at home, and to gain the tools for our children and families to succeed. So I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to look beyond their histories and to see what opportunities are available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools, network within the community, and when we do, we unite them. We make the community stronger. What I do is something I wish someone had done for me, and I am so grateful I am able to. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunities and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the...
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, good.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, Just a Bit Outside Radio Show, BeExposedRadio.com. Hey, you're checking us out on Facebook, on YouTube, maybe later in the week you're on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Share the link, share the love, tell your friends. You never know what you're going to miss unless you watch. And you might miss interviews that we have, like from the frozen tundra of Frostburg State University.
Frozen tundra is an understatement, I'm telling you.
We're live with Coach DeLane Fitzgerald. How you doing, Coach?
How are y'all tonight?
Oh, we're doing real well. We're doing real well. Not as good as you, though.
Well, I'm indoors, so I'm not frozen and I'm warm. But yeah, it was a pretty good fall for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
First of all, I want to say congratulations on a great season, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You run the table, 9-0 on the season. Unfortunately, you get a game canceled. And also, congratulations on this season becoming the winningest coach in Frostburg history.
I appreciate that. Thank you again.
How's it feel to be the man? I mean, right now, you're doing it all.
Yeah, I'm not the man here. I have been fortunate to get a job at a university that was tired of not being good and tired of losing and ready to spend some resources and to do some things for us to be successful. I'm also extremely fortunate to be at a university that attracts top-notch talent.
And talking about top-notch talent.
Just today, Frostburg senior right tackle Riley Hartman was named the All-American Football Coaches Association Division III First Team All-American.
Riley had a great career here for us. Started all 45 games on campus, started the first game of his career all the way to the end of his career. And when you think about it in Division III, you're only guaranteed 10 games a year.
Right.
And so Riley starting 45 straight games is pretty special. And then he's the winningest starter in school history. He started for us 37 wins over the last 4 seasons.
That's amazing.
Great football player and even better young man.
It says that he was the first team All-East Region honoree after taking home the first team All-NJAC honors.
Yeah, he's first team All-Conference, first team All-Region, and he's first team All-American. There is still 1 or 2 other All-American publications coming out, and we're hopeful and confident that he's going to be first or second team All-American in the other 2 publications also.
What are his plans for the future?
He wants to be a football coach. How about that?
Oh, wow. Are you serious? Get out of here.
And in the 4 years that we coached him, he's a business administration major and a 3.3 Yeah, 3.3 or better GPA, and he never let on one time what his future plans were, and he walked in a week and a half, week after our season was over with, and expressed to me that he'd like to coach football, and wanted to know what was the process with which he needed to go about being a football coach. So we've had some of those conversations, but we also had the conversation, I asked him if he was glutton for punishment, or if he just wanted to be poor the rest of his life.
I hear that.
Did he express what level of coaching he's interested in, like high school, college, perhaps pro?
If everything works out okay, we're going to hire Riley back here next fall as a graduate assistant.
Hey, Coach, you took the words right out of my mouth, man. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we had Sean Brown call in and chop it up with us, and he was a former basketball player for Frostburg, and I was just about to ask you if you were going to keep him in-house. So that's good news, man. That's good news.
Well, first things first, if you've got me following Coach Brown, well, I'm not going to live up to it because he's a whole lot better than I am. Yeah, a lot more charismatic and articulate and all than I am. But, yeah, Sean does a great job with our basketball program here. They almost beat Division I Longwood the other night.
Yeah.
It was a close game, had a chance to win that. But with Riley's situation and him being a GA next year, I've come to learn a long time ago as a football coach that if you have a good one in your program and they want to stay in your program, you need to do all you can do to keep them around.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. And, I mean, he would have one hell of a mentor, man, because I got to say, Coach DeLane, your resume gets more and more impressive every season.
We win a few more games each year, and I look a little better, and the university and the program and all look a little better. This transition into D2, we're going to find out what we're made of the next 2 or 3 years, though.
So when was that decision made? I haven't heard that. This is news to me.
The rumors started coming. The rumors started coming across my desk and down our athletic hallway about a year ago this time. So last December, and so I'm starting from the beginning. The politicians in Western Maryland got the idea that the best thing for our university was that we become NCAA Division II.
Absolutely.
And then the politicians were able to talk our administration and our school president into it, and it kind of snowballed from there. They made the announcement around about the first week in July that we were going to be NCAA Division II beginning in fall of 2019.
Congratulations, Coach. I mean, I know you're pumped about the step up, man, and the new challenge.
I'm excited about a lot of parts of it, but you're right. It is a tremendous challenge and going to be a lot of work here the next couple of seasons.
For people who are really unfamiliar with the difference between Division III and Division II, if you could give us like a brief overview and what sort of challenges you expect to face in the next year.
Yeah, sure. Let's go all levels of NCAA college football. The Division I schools, the Notre Dames, the Marylands, the Florida States, they're allowed to give out 85 full scholarships. So they have 80 scholarships with which to give out. The FCS schools, or as us old heads used to call it, 1AA football. Yeah. James Madison, Towson, Delaware, Maine, North Dakota State, they're allowed to give out 63 scholarships. And you can break up several of those scholarships and give out a half or give out a quarter. So you've got 85 at Division I, and then you've got 63 at FCS level, and then you come down to NCAA Division II, which is what we're going to be beginning next year. The maximum you're allowed to give out is 36 full rides. Okay. Most Division II schools don't give out all 36. It usually averages out around 30 scholarships. You can take those scholarships and break them up any way you want to. Now you can give out 30 full rides, or you can give out $1 million $100 scholarships if you want to. But you can break them out and mix and match the scholarships to package kids and make a college education affordable for the young men and young women in the female sports. And then NCAA Division III, which is what we are currently, doesn't give out any athletic aid.
Okay, so that's great for you guys. I'm not saying anything about the student athletes that you already have, but I think that opens the door for some more players and more talent to come to the university. Correct?
It does. It allows us to make our athletic talent pool a lot bigger and a lot deeper and a lot more talented.
Fantastic, fantastic. So what do you think will be some of the challenges that you will face to prepare to enter this D2 conference?
We're not as big and as fast and as talented as we need to be. We're joining the Mountain East Conference, which for the people out there that don't know, it's one school in North Carolina. It's 7 or 8 schools in West Virginia, 2 schools in Ohio, and then we'll be the only Maryland school. And the challenge is this, and I'll get this a little bit wrong, but 4 years ago, one of the schools in the conference made the national title game and lost. The year after that, so 3 years ago, a team in the conference made the Final Four, and then 2 years ago, another team in the conference made the Final Four. So it's one of the better Division II conferences in the country, one of the more talented that we could have joined. And the jump, we're not only taking a step up with the level and the talent that we're going to play against, we're probably taking 2 steps up.
Fantastic, fantastic. I mean, that's exciting news, Coach.
We have to get bigger and stronger, and we have to get faster than we currently are if we're going to compete at that level.
And I mean, it seems like the right move because I mean, over the past couple of years, y'all been doing the damn thing. You know, it sounds like you're ready for that next step.
It's an exciting move, and it'll take a couple years for us to get a toehold on what we're doing in Division II and in the Mountain East. But I truly believe we can win conference titles, and I believe we can compete for national titles at the Division II level.
How many more games do they play at the Division II level?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, that great question. Yeah, instead of playing 10 games, you're scheduled 11 games a season.
Okay. So 1 extra game for the guys. And so what's the atmosphere like for the players and the team? I mean, are they just as excited as you are?
I think they're excited with the young men, and not only when I played 25 years ago, but the young men that are playing high school football now. You want to play at the highest possible level that you can play at.
Absolutely.
And my old high school coach had a saying, go sweat at the highest level. Go find the highest level that you can get on the field and that you can sweat at, and go play at that level. With our kids here, and I told all 12 of our rising seniors, I think they're in the perfect storm because they've won 31 games here over 3 years, so they've won more than 10 per year, and now they're going to get a chance to have a full year to see exactly where we stack up with Division II football programs.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Look, Coach, hold the line. We're about to take a quick commercial break. You guys, when we come back, we'll have more with Coach DeLane from Frostburg State University. Go Bobcats!
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
My name is Ruth Rusey. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live United. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusey. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Y'all still there?
Yep, we're still there.
What's the hard question at the end of this thing going to be? You stumped me on the music I listened to last year.
Okay, hold on 1 second, Coach. Hold on, we'll get to that in a quick second. Hey, you guys, we're back with Coach DeLane from Frostburg State University, your head coach. And we just learned that they're stepping up, they're leveling up, going from D3 to D2. We're excited to hear about that. So we're going to take a few minutes to highlight some of the players. Mark, you want to continue on this conversation?
Yeah, okay. Well, earlier we talked about Riley, very accomplished career there. And kind of offline, we were talking about some of the local connections here in Baltimore. So any players you want to highlight, Coach?
Hey, we have Jamal Morant's been a 3-year starter for us at tailback, a Milford Mill product and a great guy. Jamal's been a warrior for us, and we like to pick at him. He's not he's vertically challenged, so we tell him inch for inch. He's the most talented player in school history. But Jamal's been a great one for us, close to 3,000 yards rushing in 3 years. Malik Morris, great wide receiver, first team all conference, over 1,000 yards receiving this year on only 30-some catches. But Malik's a Dunbar product and done a great job for us there. And then Malcolm Facey is also a Baltimore City guy, tailback for us, great special teams player, one of the leaders of our football team. So yeah, shout out to the 410. But we've got two handfuls of players here from Baltimore that do a really nice job for us. Great players.
Hey, I'm loving that. I'm loving that, Coach.
We talked about Riley's accomplishments, but also I wanted to mention Division3Football.com All-East Region teams announced right guard Joey Powell, right tackle Riley Hartman, there he is again. We're both named to the All-Region team, and the quarterback, Connor Cox, who actually we named as our hometown hero a couple weeks back.
Yep.
For his outstanding play in that first NCAA playoff game. He was selected to the second team.
Yeah, we'll start with Joey, and then Joey's a Bel Air, Maryland product, and Joey had a great career here, but hey, undersized player that all he did was just win each week. He got a little better each day he was in our program, and every Saturday we went to play, he always surprised us with how well he played. But 3-year starter here in first team all conference, Joey did a great job. I don't know how to aptly put Connor's accomplishments into words, but Connor came here and Connor started 43 out of his 45 career games here, and missed 2 games, 2 starts to injury. But he won 35 out of the 37 games that were won here over his 4 years, and did a great job. Connor holds every single school record, which he holds a record for TDs, and he holds a record for passing yards, he holds a record for wins by a quarterback, he holds a record for completions in a career, he holds every single passing record. And the thing that stands out to me about him holding all the records is he doesn't have the attempts record. We didn't throw the ball. We didn't throw the football here as much over the last 4 years as maybe they did in the early to mid 90s or the early 2000s. We're balanced here, and we run the football with Jamal Moran and Malcolm Facey and Grayson Boyce. And for Connor to put up the numbers he put up with us being balanced was really, really special. But I guess the thing that the way to sum up Connor's career here is Connor's a winner, and he's probably the biggest competitor each and every Saturday that I ever coached. There were a whole lot of football games over the last 4 years where we could have withered and could have folded and we could have died, and Connor just refused. He refused to die. He refused to lose. A lot of fourth quarters over the last 4 years. He refused to go away.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. I was just looking at your schedule that you just completed, and it's kind of amazing. Some of these games, number 6 Wesley, that's a squeaker. I mean, there's some games that you just dominated, and some games that were absolutely down to the wire. As a coach, what was your not necessarily like your favorite game or whatever, but the most challenging game that you had of the season?
you brought up the Wesley game. We were down 14-0 in that football game before we ever really kind of got started. We were losing 2 or 3 times in the fourth quarter of that football game and managed to win it at the end. Case in point, between Connor and Jamal Morant just not wanting to lose. Jamal had 30-some carries for 161 yards in that game. We turn around a couple weeks later and we're at Montclair State, and one of the detriments to us being a Maryland school in the New Jersey Conference is we would go to upstate New Jersey and get an entirely New Jersey officiating crew. So we were playing the team we were playing, and then we were playing 7 other people on some Saturdays also. But we were losing in that football game by 7 or 10 points midway through the game, and Connor and Jamal just didn't want to go away. Would not go away. They would refuse to lose. We ended up squeaking out a 7-point victory there, and then come to the Salisbury game. The Salisbury game, guys, that may be the greatest football game I've ever been a part of, and this is my 24th college season, and this is my 35th string football season during my life. But that Salisbury game, there were 3 or 4 times in the fourth quarter where we're beat. We're beat. You can hang it up and let's accept defeat, and we'll maybe get a postseason bid and maybe not. And our guys just refused to go away. But there were a bunch of times in that football game in the fourth quarter where we're down 2 scores. We're down 2 scores, and we just continue to play and continue to execute. And we came back and came back and came back. We managed to send that Salisbury game into overtime at 35-35. We get the ball first in overtime, and we go 3 and out, but we kick a field goal. Jeremy Harrison, Montgomery County product, Sherwood High School, he kicks a field goal to put us up 38-35, and then on Salisbury's possession, they fumbled the football. We win.
Man, that sounds like one hell of a game. Sounds almost like just as dramatic as the game we just watched on Sunday.
It's the best that I've seen. It's the best that I've been a part of.
And I got to tell you, Coach, listening to you talk about these games, whenever you get out of coaching, you definitely have a future as a commentator.
My problem as a commentator is this accent that I was born with, and this accent that my grandmother, who was my babysitter for most of my youth, the accent that she passed to me. People don't want to sit and listen to a guy that sounds like he just crawled out of an oak tree.
Hey man, I gotta tell you, Tony Romo's been doing our games the past couple of weeks, and I would much rather hear you than listen to Tony Romo.
Hey, well, I probably know a little bit more football than Tony Romo.
I love it. And Coach, sit tight. You guys, when we come back, we're gonna ask Coach DeLane to stick around and talk a little Ravens with us. So don't go anywhere. Just a bit outside. That's fucking hilarious.
That's great.
Yeah. Sit tight. Coach, you got about 10 more minutes?
I got all the time y'all need.
All right, thanks.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away at theshelterpetproject.org.
Because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com. You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Okay, you guys, we're back just a bit outside. Before we get started, we continue our talk with Coach DeLane. I want to take a second to do a couple of shout-outs. We got Milford Mill checking in. What's going on to our guy Donnie? What's going on, Darrell? I see Jay's watching, Mike's watching, Ren's watching, Angie, all of the usual suspects. We got some questions about Lamar. We will get to that very short. As a matter of fact, let's just get to it right now. Coach DeLane, I mean, you've had the privilege of coaching Connor Cox since he was a freshman, and he's just been outstanding for the university. The Baltimore Ravens have, just started to start Lamar Jackson, who is a former Heisman Trophy winner, and he's been doing great things. There's been a lot of controversy as to who should be starting, who should start for the rest of the season. Being a coach that has had to mold young talent and has kind of been in a similar situation as John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens. I'd just like to get your take on the whole quarterback situation in Baltimore.
What specifically is your question so I can answer it intelligently?
Okay, more specifically, who do you think should be starting for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I would start Lamar Jackson at this point for the rest of the season. I don't know what his status is on his ankle yesterday. Right. And you have to forgive me because during our season for 14 weeks a year, I don't get to watch a whole lot of professional football because we're breaking down film and having meetings on Sunday.
Absolutely.
But the last 2 weeks, I've tried to get caught up with pro football and more specifically local football. But if Lamar Jackson's ankle, if he's healthy, he should be the starter for the rest of the season. He's won his last 4 starts or won his last 3 starts, whichever it is, and you go with a hot hand. And the thing I would tell you guys is they were a little stagnant in the middle of the season. Their football program, their football team, and their offense were a little stagnant. They needed something to jumpstart them. They needed a spark, and Lamar Jackson's been that spark plug.
Now, let me ask you, dealing with Connor Cox as a freshman, he's been completely awesome, and he's broken a lot of records up there at Frostburg. What were some of the things, some of the coaching aspects or coaching, should I say, what's the word I'm looking for? What type of coaching did you use on such a young quarterback to kind of mold him to be more at a professional level?
Yeah, Connor matured a ton in his 4 years here, and most young men do mature a whole lot. He made a huge jump from his sophomore to his junior season, then had a great junior and senior season. The biggest thing you want to talk with players about is being able to lead and being able to run your offense and be a leader in the huddle and have command of the offense. The quarterback has to know more about the offense and what's going on than anybody else on the football field. And if there's ever a time when the quarterback doesn't know what's going on, the other 10 guys out there on the field with him, they'll sense it. They'll sense it and they'll know it, and they'll play really, really bad. But that's the first thing, being a leader, having a command of the offense. And then you start talking with them about making the right defensive reads. If the defense does this, we're going to do this. And if the defense does that, we're going to do that. So you got to make sure that they're making the right reads and making the right throws. And then as important as anything that I've said in the last 2 minutes, your quarterback can't turn the football over. Quarterback's got not turn the football over. And I don't know what Connor's stats were this year, but I think it was 20-some touchdown passes and 4 or 5 interceptions total, and that is a great ratio. Absolutely. Going into that last game, Yeah, going into that last game of the season, he was 25 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions for the entire season.
Wow. Man, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And, you know, moving forward, with the Ravens, if the Ravens do elect to stick with Lamar, do you think our wild card chances are pretty good?
Well, if you win out, you're going to make the playoffs. If the Baltimore Ravens win out, you know they're in because they're in the driver's seat there. They have an opportunity to win out. So that's a good thing. And
let me ask you this. Now, when Connor came on as a freshman, was he filling the position for somebody that was leaving, or did you have a decision of your own to make?
We had a quarterback battle, and it was Connor and 3 or 4 returning players. And then the rule in coaching has always been this, and always should be this: if it's a tie, you go with the youngest guy.
Okay.
If you've got a tie at the quarterback position, you go with the youngest player because you're going to be able to keep him around the longest and be able to get the most out of him. And we had a tie. We had a tie between Connor and Joe Beckford in that first camp, that 2015 camp here. Joe Beckford is a Lackey. He's Indian Head, Maryland native and a Lackey football player. The beauty of Joe Beckford is he's one of my all-time favorites and an ultimate Frostburg team football player. When Joe got beat out, Joe came to our coaching staff and said, "Would y'all mind if I just go play wide receiver?" And Joe became a great wide receiver for us, all conference.
Would you say that that's kind of a typical thing? I mean, when you guys find other positions or try to tap into other talents that players have that you know just didn't make the cut at the starting position?
I wish it was typical, but in 2018, when things don't go a kid's way, they usually quit. They usually quit. They usually either they become a cancer in the locker room or they just quit and walk away completely. But I got it from the top 25, ESPN's top 25 quarterbacks in the 2015 class. 22 out of the 25 have already transferred school at least once. The Division I school they went to didn't work out exactly the way they wanted it to, and they've already transferred to another school. 22 out of the 25, I thought that was an amazing statistic. That's why I'm so high on Joe Beckford and what he did, and he graduated last year, 2017. But why I was such a fan of his, because he was the ultimate team guy, and he's going to get a degree from here this December, and then he's going to become a graduate assistant down in our locker room. Great young man, great kid.
I mean, that shows a hell of a level of maturity, I mean, if you ask me.
Had a tremendous amount of maturity. He was wise beyond his years, and it's all worked out very, very well for him. But you asked the question, do players move positions a lot? It happens sometimes, but it doesn't happen enough. In this day and age, if young men, 18 to 22, don't get what they want immediately, there's no sense of delayed gratification. They just go looking for it somewhere else.
I think that's the millennial way, man. We just got to get with the times.
It's the world we are living in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, we always do our Just a Bit Outside Fave 5. Last time you were on last year, we hit you up we wanted to hear what you were listening to. And I got to tell you, we enjoyed your Fave 5 so much. I got to run it back to see if you've modified your musical taste. So, what 5 musical artists do you have in rotation right now, Coach?
So you're repeating the same question from a year ago that I answered very, very poorly. How about that?
I thought it was pretty good. You threw a lot of old school on there.
I'll throw out some names because you've made me think about it. I've just always liked music and all types of music, but I've never paid attention to who the artists are until you asked me the question last year. So you've made me broaden my horizons and educate myself a little bit. But I want to, and here's I'm gonna summarize and then I'll get specific. I like most anything from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Right. I'm a 70s, 80s, and 90s, and I laugh at myself sometimes. The older I get, the older my music gets, because I just keep going back further and further. But getting more specific, I catch myself in the mornings listening to the Gap bands.
Okay.
I listen to Kool and the Gang. I like the Doobie Brothers. I like a lot of that stuff. So if you were saying the 3, the Gap band, You're making me think about. I like the old Commodore stuff, and I like the Doobie Brothers again, and just those type. I catch myself listening to Cleveland's Clearwater Revival every once in a while. But yeah, I like that stuff.
All right, fantastic, man. As always, you don't disappoint, Coach. That was a legit Fave 5. Now, let me ask you this while we have a few minutes left. We have a Monday Night Football game going down tonight. It's just about to be underway within, I'd say, the next 8 or 9 minutes. We have the Vikings on the road in Seattle taking on the Seahawks. Who do you think is going to walk away with the win with that matchup?
I got two NFL shout-outs. My college teammate, John DeFilippo at James Madison, is the offensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings. And even if I thought he was going to lose, I would still root for him. So I'm going with Minnesota Vikings tonight because I'm a Minnesota fan as long as he's employed there. Now, him being a professional coach, I've been a fan of about 6 teams in the last 6 years. So it's a little tough sledding. But John won the Super Bowl as the quarterback's coach of the Philadelphia Eagles last year. Now the OC at Minnesota, so I'm taking them. The other thing, guys, we talked about Niles Scott here last year and him being our star player and All-American. Niles is getting 50% of the reps for the Cincinnati Bengals. Elkton, Maryland product. Niles has 4 tackles in the last 4 weeks. 2 weeks ago he had 2 tackles. Yesterday he had a tackle, so big shout-out to Niles Scott. The Frostburg State NFL player.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic, Coach. So you got it on the Minnesota Vikings. Mark, who's your pick for tonight?
I humbly have to disagree and go with the Seahawks. Okay, I think I'm going with the Seahawks too. So it's 1 against 2. But I think regardless, it's going to be a pretty good matchup and a pretty good game tonight.
Football trivia for everyone. The quarterback. Give me the quarterback. Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson. Yeah. Russell Wilson is a Richmond, Virginia native. Russell Wilson, coming out of high school, was told by the University of Virginia and Virginia Tech that he was too short to ever play quarterback. Yep. How about that?
Hey, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. And that just lets you know that you can't listen to the hype all the time, you know?
He's proved a lot of people wrong.
Yeah, and he's done a hell of a lot of things with those legs of his. So we'll be updating you guys on the NFL game as we go on tonight. Coach DeLane, thank you so much for checking in with us, man. As we said before, congratulations on the hell of a run. I mean, you just continue to raise our eyebrows and to knock it out of the park, man. And to hear now that Frostburg is going from D3 to D2, man, I mean, that's just fantastic, man. You're doing a great job.
Guys, thank y'all for having me, and go Bobcats.
All right, go Bobcats.
Good luck, Coach.
Another awesome interview with Coach DeLane, man. I mean, I got to tell you, when we had him on last year,
1 minute.
Excuse me. He was so live and just so much fun. I made it a point to keep in contact with him, man. And honestly, he just doesn't disappoint. And what he has done with Frostburg's football team has just been fantastic. I mean, when I went to Frostburg, I attended Frostburg from 97 to 2001. Never a dull moment. You know, Frostburg was they were doing really well, but I can honestly say they weren't at this type of level well. I mean, they've been doing so good where they managed to, go up a division. Yeah. And, just to be able to witness that and to follow along with everything that they've been doing, it's just been really awesome.
I'm sure as an alum, you're just thrilled.
Yeah. And I'm going to chop it up with a couple of my homeboys when I get home tonight. But you guys, don't go anywhere when we take our break. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, what are we going to do? We can talk a little bit about the People's Poll, and we're going to do the Booty Huff and the Come Through picks, man. This past Sunday was off the fucking chain. I can't wait. So y'all don't go anywhere. Just a bit outside.
Where's Nicole?
There's a rumor going around that Tyler Perry and Oprah are beefing. Well, let me tell you about this. Tyler, told Oprah, bitch, if you don't have my money, we're going to have a problem. Ooh. Oprah said, what is the problem? Ooh. You said if I don't have your money, there was going to be a problem. So Oprah is standing her ground like, bitch, I'm in charge. You know, you may have a $250 million studio over there that you film all your shows and movies and stuff on, but I have the empire. That's what Oprah said.
Oh, these are her exact words. Allegedly.
I made this up. But
allegedly.
I made it all up. But there was a rumor that they were beefing. But Tyler confirms that they don't have any issues. So it says it was recently reported on the rumors that was swirling that the twosome were on the outs over constructive criticism of a Perry show. Well, I got some constructive criticism, and we can be on the outs, Tyler, and I don't give a damn, because I'm going to make a promo out of this anyway and share it to your page. I need the scenes on Have and Have-Nots to be like 5% shorter, each one. I want you to watch an episode of The Young and the Restless, because this is supposed to be a soap opera. No one's dialogue on The Young and the Restless is like this. You don't have to talk about the random plant in the corner for 25 minutes on one damn scene.
They talk about random plants.
It was a blood stain on the floor for 5 episodes. I can't take it. We need to pick this up. I'm sorry. I love the Have and the Have-Nots, and I continue to watch it in its 5th season, but I get so mad when I can go get myself a glass of water and come back and he had just started the next sentence in his first paragraph. I can't stand it.
They just want to get the point across.
It's not but you don't get the point for 4 episodes. It's too much. So, now according to ET Online reports, Tyler Perry has a pre-cut and dried response to a pretty cut and dry response to the rumors about him and Oprah. Here's what he says. It's completely false.
What was that? That was your Tyler Perry impression? Oh, God. What?
That was my Medea voice.
Oh, God.
Nothing is accurate in this article except for mine and Oprah's names. That's what he said. I mean, you see what I mean? You gotta stick around. I mean, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. I mean, they pay us to do this, so we go off every week right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
Only in the forest can you see this. But nothing beats the moment you see that. Cool! That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. And you might just see this. Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Here's what you missed on Salacious Life Radio.
You know, when it comes to your children, especially if you're dating someone that you actually like, you do want it to work. So you're gonna hope and encourage the relationship between your child and that person because you like that person, you know. So you're gonna hope for the best. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work, and you can't make it work. You can't force it. It's like a branch. You keep bending it. Eventually, it'll snap, and even if you put it back together, it'll never be what it once was. But you definitely.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
You say we live?
Welcome back, Just a Bit Outside Radio Show, BeExposedRadio.com. Once again, we want to thank Coach DeLane Fitzgerald, Frostburg State University. Always good talking to him. Congratulations on them moving up to D2, and congratulations on an undefeated season going down to, which we didn't even mention on the interview, to a Baltimore team, Johns Hopkins, in the second round of the Division III playoffs. amazing run for them, and wish them the best in the future. Hopefully they can have that championship aspect going up to D2. We have Monday Night Football. It's underway. It's a little over 3 minutes in, and the Vikings are, looks like they just punted. Yeah, Vikings just punted. I was about to say they're marching down, but...
damn it.
Yeah. No, that's cool, because now the Seahawks got the ball. We can be right. I think the Wizards are playing, too. And now, of course, this isn't going to work with me. But every week we do the People's Poll.
Yep.
And this week, not trying to be repetitive, but it was going to be a big game.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar's fourth start. And just want to know, against the #1 team in the AFC, would the Ravens win or would they lose? And
can I just say something about this poll? I'm sorry. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. Okay, so Mark, when did you put this poll out?
Wednesday, I think.
Okay, Wednesday. So we had about a good 5-6 days to share it out there to our different areas and to accumulate a lot of votes.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like ever since we've had this quarterback controversy, our votes have just like skyrocketed because, it's such a hot topic and a touchy subject.
And they don't care what the topic is. They just like to get Flacco and Lamar.
Typical America shit. We all knew what the Kansas City Chiefs record was. We all knew the caliber of quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, caliber of team. How well they have been doing. And you know what I'm saying? I have got to say, I am honestly floored that we received 325 votes. And out of the 325 votes, 292 picked the Ravens. I understand being down for your team. I understand loving your squad. I understand, you believing that they can do all things. And,
And look at the language of the post, because I made sure to say, take off your Homer hats.
Right.
And look at it objectively.
And, I was watching this game, and I was one of the ones, they're probably going to rip my ass for this, but I voted for the Chiefs because, I like to think of myself as a realist. I know that we're not going to win every game. This was one hellified test. Yeah, we got 2 rookie quarterbacks, but one rookie is a lot more seasoned than the other rookie.
Well, Mahomes, a second year, but it's his first year starting.
Okay, yeah. First year starting. Thanks, Mark. I was just really surprised about the groundswell of support that the Ravens got. I get loving your squad, but you don't love your squad to the point where you're delusional.
You're on those boards every day. People are delusional.
And I gotta shout the Ravens out. Well, first of all, let's just go ahead to the results. Okay, 90% Ravens, 10% Chiefs. Needless to say, the people got it wrong. They almost got it right. They put up one hell of a fight.
Overtime.
Yeah, but in the end, the hosts reigned supreme. So, what we want to say about yesterday's game, yo?
There's no such thing as a moral victory in the NFL. But
I'm gonna say it. I hate when people say that shit, but
and people say, "Oh, all that matters is if you got the W or the L." And that's what matters when it comes down to the playoff implications and everything. Mm-hmm. But as Coach DeLane even said, like the middle of the season, the team was just stagnant.
And I said that last week.
And go back to 2008 when Flacco was starting. They were doing things, and it lit a fire into the team. And now, 11 years later, it has become stagnant, and Lamar has lit a fire. Even the people that wanted Joe Flacco to be the starter upon his return have to recognize that. I know they don't, because I'm on Facebook every day. But they need to, because I love Joe Flacco. Dude brought us a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's no taking that back. He will be in the Ring of Honor. He's not going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Of course.
But he'll be in the Ravens Ring of Honor.
He's not going to like
that. He has his legacy for Baltimore football solidly cemented. he might even be one of those statues outside of M&T Bank Stadium one day.
I mean, he got the Super Bowl. I mean, after all, you know what I mean?
But his time is done.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was watching the pregame show on ESPN. I'm going to make this quick statement before we go to a commercial break. I was listening to Randy Moss talk, and the whole quarterback situation with Baltimore came up. And he said, you know, he was like, I don't know what the hell is going on in Baltimore. I don't know what frame of mind the coach is in. But what I can tell you is if Lamar Jackson wins this game, Joe Flacco will be carrying the clipboard for the rest of the season. No, Lamar did not win the game, but boy, did he come damn close. You know, I mean, he actually orchestrated a drive to tie the game up. You know, and prior to that moment, you know, they did a little shot to Joe Flacco on the sideline, and he was a little more animated than normal when we were done. I mean, honestly, you know, we sent a text message out to the homies like, "Yo, it looked like Joe Flacco happy as shit we losing right now." But I mean, you know, like he came back, he tied the game up. Yeah, you know, he made a costly mistake that I think he will never fucking forget, and I honestly think he won't make that mistake again.
Well, he might, because it's the NFL.
Yeah.
But as long as he's learning and progression, which we talked about, that's what matters.
Yeah, and I can honestly say from game to game, even with his dark spots, you are seeing progression. So I'm gonna ride the Randy Moss bandwagon and say, like, even though he didn't get the win, I mean, yo, he lost by 3 in overtime. Joe Flacco is not coming back. And I think everybody just needs to come to grips with that. I mean, it's a new era, it's a new day, and you can tell with the players. I mean, goddamn, the offensive line, it's like a whole new offensive line. Where did these cats come from, for real? I mean, honestly.
And they're finally not injured for one.
Well, yeah, I guess that has a lot to do with it too, but I mean, it just seems like there's like a new fire spark in the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, when we come back, we're going to do those booty huff picks of the week and talk about who came through. Man, we got some jokes for you. Holla at me, Pittsburgh. I'll see you in a minute.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out.
Exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, Just a Bit Outside Radio Show, BeExposedRadio.com. I want to shout out DJ DeLane for those intros and outros and all the music that you hear on the show. Always great listening to that stuff. And
I'm surprised he ain't tuned in tonight, man. He was
I
so vocal yesterday. I think he might be a little hurt right now.
I think I told you before, but I've like downloaded those tracks and I'll just listen to them in the car and stuff.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, he's got a talent, and like I said a couple weeks ago, we got some new music on deck, so we can't wait to hear that, man. 2019, we're gonna be doing big things. You guys, when we left off, we were, you know, we talked about the Ravens. We're gonna lay that baby to rest. Time for our Booty Huff picks and who came through picks of the week. I want to start off with the Booty Huff as always. I think that I don't know what you picked, but I'm thinking, are we on the same page this week for Booty Huff?
I would have been, but since you kind of like let the cat out of the bag on Facebook.
Okay, you went a different route.
I went a different route, but it's just as sweet.
Okay, well. All right, I'm going to start off with my Booty Huff pick of the week because I just can't wait. And I hope Andre got that graphic up. The Booty Huff pick of the week is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I am so happy to say that the Pittsburgh Steelers is straight up Booty Huff. They went, were they on the road or were they at home? They were on the road.
I think so.
That's right, because I remember, you know, seeing the Predator and all them crazy asses in a black hole. They went on the road to take on the, at the time, 2-10 or some shit like 2-11 Oakland Raiders. Everybody knows the Oakland Raiders have been absolutely horrible all season. First of all, you let the Oakland Raiders score on you first. Okay, I hit my friend up. I said, yo, and she's a big Nicole Anderson, shout out. She's a big Steelers fan. And I told her early after that first touchdown, I said, Oakland Raiders fit and lick y'all ass. Okay. I said that. And, you know, she continued to talk shit. It was a good back and forth game. You know, it was
between you and her,
or both, because we were talking shit the whole entire time. But it was a nice battle of mediocrity because, I mean, honestly, the Raiders still aren't good. You know what I mean? They beat the Steelers yesterday, but they're still not, you know, good. I mean, they stepped there. I don't know what they did to play that well yesterday. They stepped the game up, but I'm pretty sure they'll be back to normal, you know, this week.
Yeah. I want to know what's up with the, you know, what kind of a drama queen is Ben Raplesberger?
Yeah. Well, all right. So let's talk about the game. So did that game go into overtime?
No.
Okay. All right. So we're in the final seconds of the game, and you know, Pittsburgh thinks they have it all sewn up. And what's the kicker's name? I can't remember.
Barnwell or something like that?
Boswell. Kicker Boswell. You know, he's ready to go for the victory. He's ready to do his best Justin Tucker impersonation and win this game. The Bama goes out there to kick the ball. And what does he do, Mark?
I think someone forgot to screw in the screws on his cleats. Because he just straight slipped.
It landed on his ass and missed the field goal, and like all holy hell breaks loose in Steeler Nation. And I got to shout my father out because I'm watching this game with my father, and he says some funny shit. I mean, as time expires, my father says, "Yeah, I'd like to see Mike Tomlin try to trip somebody now." Oh man, I just laid out. It was fantastic, man. Just if you're a Raven and you were grieving over the L that you just took, man, this had to lift your spirits just a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
And for real, Steelers, y'all is straight up Booty Huff. First the Browns, now the Raiders. We can't wait to see y'all in the postseason. We're gonna light that ass up. Who do you have for Booty Huff?
That's when we're hosting the playoff game.
That's right.
We're win the division still.
Oh, shorty, we coming for them. We coming. They don't want to see us.
For my Booty Huff, I went with another team that's just as sweet to have lose.
Okay.
And that's the New England Patriots.
Woo!
Going down in Miami, which I have to admit, on the pick 'em, I almost went with Miami because Miami usually gets one against the Patriots every year. But on the most wild, probably the #1 play of the NFL season so far, Miami, and actually there's a video up on the wall page.
Yes, it's fucking hilarious.
Set to Titanic music, which is just hilarious. They lateral, shovel pass, and for some reason, the Patriots put Rob Gronkowski back on the 15, thinking that'd give him an advantage, being deep, and he still couldn't make the tackle.
And I'm sorry, New England Patriots, you are legit a Booty Huff because I watched this play. You know, I believe it was the game that they had kind of switched to when the other game was over. Like, we legit watched this whole entire thing go down. And I was literally screaming the whole entire time, like, oh, no, they did not. Because, I mean, when you saw the two laterals, it was just like, okay, can somebody tackle somebody?
And they just lined up perfectly where the Dolphins were right there to make 2 good blocks.
Oh, dude, shout out to, and honestly, I don't know the exact players that were doing the blocking, but you got to shout out those guys in Miami. And, you know, honestly, New England, for the fact that they did 2 laterals, okay, and were able to scramble around, because they were stuck in that corner for like a minute, and then broke that joint to the outside and just took it to the house. Y'all was legit booty huff, man. 0 defense, 0 discipline. Like, you know, and I don't even know whose idea it was to put Rob Gronkowski out there.
If you haven't seen the play after the show, go check it out on the show page. Because set to the Titanic music is great.
You know, the internet stays undefeated. Oh, yeah. So let's talk about who came through for the week. I'm going to do mine really quickly. Andre, I want that Cleveland Browns picture to come up if you got it. My pick was Cleveland Browns. As you all know, or if you didn't know, Cleveland Browns came through against the Carolina Panthers. I mean, this is a 5-7-1 team, and I think for some reason, some crazy-ass reason, they still have a chance to make the playoffs.
They still have a chance for the division.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like the AFC North is always a tight race between 3 teams, but I think this year that 3rd team is going to be an unusual suspect.
Yeah.
For real, and it will be the Browns. And we have a game against the Browns. Is that the last game of the season for us?
Last game of the season.
Yeah. So I mean, as always, I always say, like, man, you know, with the AFC North, that shit always comes down to the last game of the season, and I don't think this year will be any different. So I got to shout out Cleveland.
Absolutely.
Who's your come through pick of the week?
The New York Giants.
Okay, that was another good one too. I fought between the 2.
We've talked about Eli Manning not looking like Eli Manning all year, and for me that's really about the intangibles, because his numbers have actually been really good for the season. Some record-breaking numbers for him, career highs.
Yeah.
But they were just tearing it up yesterday. They whooped up on the Redskins. What was it, 40-16?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, they're not going to make the playoffs. They got to jump over 6 teams to get that 6th wild card spot in the NFC.
Yeah.
But you just have to look at the Redskins and feel bad for them, because after Alex Smith went down, they picked up Mark Sanchez, who hasn't started a game since
butt
2016.
fumble and shit.
Butt fumble, which he got a butt recovery in his first start. He made good on it. But the Giants just tearing it up, and if Eli,
I don't even think they scored until the 4th quarter, because it was 40-0, I think, at one point, which was absolutely crazy.
And I wonder if Eli's going to be able to come back next year, and what that tandem of him and Barkley is going to look like.
Yeah. Shout out to Saquon Barkley, yo. I mean, he is just really doing the damn thing. And you know what? I want to do one more honorary come through. A lot of times, because we have that Thursday early game, it gets forgotten.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this seriously had to be one of the biggest plays of the week. I have got to shout out Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry, man, for that stiff arm and that 99-yard touchdown run, man. I mean, you know, is a record. I think it was I don't think he broke the record. I think he actually tied the NFL record. But I mean, if you guys get a chance, and we'll also put that up on the page tonight, because I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
What an amazing run. And I also got to shout out, like I said, Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans for that amazing run, man. I mean, that was a shocker. Even though they were kicking the Jaguars' ass, it was still a shocker.
And I want to mention Thursday night games. You brought it up.
Yeah.
This Thursday night.
What's this Thursday?
It's going to be the Chiefs at the Chargers, which
woo! It's going to be 50-43.
Well, we kind of banged up Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Yes, we did. We're famous for doing that.
So I got to wonder if he's going to be good to go on 4 days. I mean, not even 4 days rest. It's going to be a day of rest and 2 days practice, and then the game.
They're going to need him, so I'm pretty sure they're going to throw his butt out there.
It's going to be a good game.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a fine game. Let's keep moving to our favorite segment, the WTF Moments of the Week. Man, I am trying to tell you, it's been a crazy-ass weekend. A lot of craziness going around in the NFL. I want to start with my favorite WTF Moment of the Week.
Okay.
The RG3 haircut. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my God. You did not see the RG3 haircut? Dog, all right, as I'm talking about this, I'm going to pull this up for you. So we all know RG3 has not had the best hairstyles for African-American male. I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Wait, didn't he have like cornrows for a while?
He had cornrows, and then he was doing like these individual like color purple plaits. I mean, that nobody does anymore. I just like honestly, he's just been a bit of a, I don't even know what what to call it. But RG3 was feeling a little festive. He wanted to put out a new holiday card this year, and he wanted to do something drastic. So he went and got a haircut, and it was an absolute disaster. And I am going to tell you, I can't even, the internet dragged him so bad. I can't even I can't even read the comments, man. It's so bad. But, he was dragged for basically, not having a fade, not really have done anything to his hair whatsoever. And so he put out the Christmas card, with him and I believe is his girlfriend. And, dog looks like, I don't know, it just looked like he just took some scissors himself and just cut the plaits out of his head and was like, fuck it, let's get in front of the camera. Look at this. I mean, dog. Yeah, it was pretty rough.
You know that meme of the dude that's like,
yeah,
that's what it makes me think of.
And some people might get mad at me, but honestly, one of the comments that I did read, I thought was kind of funny, is that he's like, this black guy has the whitest haircut that he's ever seen, which I thought was pretty funny. But when you guys take a minute to Google RG3's haircut, you will understand what I'm saying. I am not exaggerating. That shit was horrible. And seriously, WTF?
WTF?
What you got?
Just real quick, because I know we want to get into some more stuff.
Yeah.
WTF had just happened today. We were talking about the Raiders' amazing victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. So how did they celebrate? They fired their GM.
The Steelers did?
No, the Raiders.
The Raiders did?
The
After
Raiders.
They made.
Now, I'm going to say they've had a terrible
God.
season. They're going to fire their GM anyway. But after you get a really huge win over a perennial powerhouse,
right?
Maybe like Gruden was mad that we want that first pick of the draft. We shouldn't be winning.
What the hell? Yeah, I just don't. I don't. Yeah, WTF. I don't get that one. WTF. Do we have any honorary WTFs, man? Like.
Well, I kind of say we get into the Kyler Murray stuff because that's WTF now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we do have a WTF for Kyler Murray. We just got updated. Kyler Murray, quarterback, what's that, OU?
Yeah.
Yep. We just kind of got a little update about him, I believe.
You had it on the schedule.
Yes.
Because he made a decision now that he's won the Heisman Trophy.
Yes. Okay, and some people might look at this as a WTF, honestly. Yeah. He for most people who don't know Kyler Murray, he's a dual sport student athlete. He not only does he play quarterback, he also plays baseball, and the Oakland Athletics have a major interest in him, and Kyler Murray has chosen baseball over football.
Yep.
And we talk a lot about the risks of playing of playing football here with Just a Bit Outside. We talk a lot about CTE. I've made a few jokes about it, but it is no laughing matter. And I've also I have alluded to some thoughts that I've had about the future of the NFL and about the popularity of the game as a whole. And I don't know. I mean, this might be the first of a major trend for college players, man, because you have a lot of these players. And if you think about a lot of tight ends, they play basketball. There are a lot of players, these college players, that play two sports.
Yeah.
And a lot of these players are starting to think about quality of life, their health. You know what I'm saying? And also in addition to that, money. You know what I'm saying? I almost think that I'm an economics major. I got a degree in economics. I always think about supply and demand. The NFL might have to raise those caps a little bit to give out a little bit more money to entice people to come to the NFL. What do you think?
Well, I think historically, Heisman winners just don't do very well in the NFL, especially at the quarterback position. And for him, if baseball is his passion more than football, then why not? Just go for it, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just talking from a health standpoint. Go for the baseball. You know what I mean? If you're thinking about the money, go for the baseball. There's unlimited ceiling. You know, I mean, kids are out here, you know, making $300 million contracts, and I'm pretty sure somebody's about to break that $400 million mark real soon. So, I mean, you know, some people have been out of shape about it. I don't blame the kid.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't blame him at all.
And more power to you, man. You make your own decisions, and you do what you want to do and what you think is best for you and your family. Do we have any other WTFs?
Well, coming off of that, apparently about, not too long after Kyler was named the Heisman Trophy winner, a writer from USA Today, Scott Gleason, I believe his name is, posted an article. We talked about it earlier with Ricard of the Ravens. When he was 14, 15 years old, he made some posts, and now they're making him apologize, like calling him out and dragging him through the mud.
And it's the third time we're talking about this tonight.
30 seconds.
I hope somebody gets a damn clue. Really quickly, on the right, WTF. Le'Veon Bell likes an Instagram post that shows the Steelers Raiders final score. Shout out to Le'Veon Bell and his expert level of petty hating from the background. Dog, you made your bed, lie in it. When we come back, we're going to give you them final updates. We're going to wrap this baby up. Just a bit outside.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Now listen to BeExposedRadio.com. Check out this fire flashback.
We need to relearn what it is to be these bosses and how we conduct ourselves as business-minded individuals and just people in general. I let my gut, and if I call it gut or God or whatever, I'm led by that energy. I know where it comes from. I know where it's, taking me, and you have to figure out what is important to you, and don't play this game. It's a game that we've learned to play, this chess game, and life is not a chess game. Life is real, bones, flesh, blood decisions.
Make sure you check out the Artist Exchange Show every Monday and Friday at 2 p.m. only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Check out this flashback from It Is What It Is radio show.
Paul was chilling. He was doing his thing. Y'all, you feel me? Love y'all family. You know what I'm saying? And like for him to be taken away from you, snatched away from you, just like that. You feel me? It's like damn.
The heart,
another good one gone. You know what I'm saying? Like why are you taking the good? You know what I'm saying?
You always end up asking like why.
And like again, it's a lesson that it's a test of faith. You feel me? Gonna take you through these tests. You feel me? You're gonna go through these little phases in life, yo. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you just gotta recognize that one, it's the adversary trying to knock you off your pivot, and then it's God trying to teach you something. You feel me? Right. Anything that you go through, you gonna get through. It's called going through. You feel me? That's why it's called going through. You going through something.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, Just a Bit Outside radio show, BeExposedRadio.com. Thank you. Every week, it just flies by.
Hell yeah.
We had a great time talking with Coach DeLane Fitzgerald earlier. We hit the Ravens, the People's Poll. You guys better get it right next week. Some updates. Vikings, Seahawks.
Yeah, but into the first quarter, and looks like the Seahawks are trying to make a score. They're poised to score.
They just did.
Yes, they did. They just put 3 points up. So they're about to, kick that ball back off to the Vikings, and we're going to see what them Vikings do. Also, it looks like the Washington Wizards are continuing to get their ass handed to them by the Indiana Pacers. Score is 87-73. Later on tonight, we have Miami, Dwayne Wade and company taking on LeBron James and the LA Lakers. That's coming on at 10:30 tonight on NBA TV. I'm anticipating a lot of boo loving between the two of them tonight because we know how LeBron James is.
Oh, yeah.
He loves his homeboys, no matter whose team they're on. Yeah, so there you have it. And I got to thank Coach DeLane for calling in as well, man. I mean, he continues to do a great job and continues to make our job easy and make the show lit. So we appreciate him. Do we have a feel good for tonight?
We have a feel good. So a couple weeks ago, 9-year-old Riley Morrison out there in Napa, California. She's a big basketball fan, big Warriors fan. Steph Curry, in particular, goes to games with her dad and plays basketball. And she's getting ready to start a new league play, and she wanted to get some of the new Currys. But they didn't come in girls' variations.
Aww.
They went to the Under Armour website, her and her dad, and they only came in men and boys.
Oh, boy.
So she wrote a letter, sit down and wrote it, pen and paper, pencil and paper. Writer. Sent it to the Warriors. It made its way to Steph, and Steph called up Under Armour. He's like, yeah, this
Kevin
is
Plank.
work. Kevin Plank.
Get it done.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Said, get it done, and that's exactly what they did. He sent out a tweet saying, this was a mistake. They're going to be available for girls right away, and apparently, the next day they were.
Yeah.
And then he invited Riley, to join him with something that he's planning for International Women's Day in March.
That's awesome, man. I got to shout out this Riley kid. I mean, and I read the little letter that she wrote.
Yeah.
I mean, this kid laid it on thick. I mean, she's like, my name's Riley. Same thing as your daughter's name.
Very first line.
I'm pretty sure her father told her to do that. But I mean, it was well crafted, well written letter, and it definitely tugged at your heartstrings. And honestly, to see Steph Curry kind of write back,
yeah,
you know what I mean? He legit wrote back was awesome. And then not only did he just write back, he didn't just throw this girl a bone and just respond. I mean, he immediately jumped on it and made change. Man, I got to shout out Riley. I got to shout out Steph Curry and Under Armour. Because, I mean, a lot of these girls out here, a lot of these young girls, young ballers, they watch the NBA. I mean, not saying that they don't watch the WNBA, but they do watch NBA. They watch men's college basketball. I mean, they're out there trying to cross over. They're out there trying to scout. I mean, they're trying to do all of these things that they see these, NBA players do. And I'm pretty sure they idolize a lot of these guys. Mm-hmm. So to give, to shed some light on that young lady and for all young ladies, across the world, man, I mean, that was just a really good story and it made you feel really good on the inside. And guys, if you want more information on that, or if you'd like to read the story, we did throw that up on the show page, I believe. Mark,
think so.
I think you did a couple weeks ago. So it's there for your viewing. You guys, another great show, another great 2 hours. So sad that it goes by so quickly, but we got to go and watch this Monday Night Football game. So you know how we end the show. Baltimore, spread love, yo. Till we see you next week, just a bit outside. Ooh. Oh, almost 2 for 2. My man. Go Bobcats!
That's what I meant to do.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run.
Mm-hmm.
The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National Series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and just they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that you're.
Then your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early into the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
Then the pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017. He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earned runs in May. And, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4 with a 4.34 ERA. And, in May,